You wake up just like every other day. You hop out of bed and then make your way to the kitchen to grab some breakfast. You eat it just like usual, and you have the same morning routine that you always have. From there, you go on throughout the rest of your day, doing the same old thing with the same daily boring routine. By now, you've already accepted it as a fact that life is boring and there's no way to change it. That's how I used to be, until I changed the key factor. I was able to break out of the boring cycle, which is like an invisible prison that I see so many people trapped inside of. So my plan today is to tell you exactly how I escaped the boring cycle and how you as a young person can do the same. For starters, I'm an 18-year-old male who has aspiring dreams. I was once trapped in the boring cycle, but roughly 2 years ago, I escaped. Escaping once felt impossible, but now I have the freedom from this cage, which is something that I thought I would never have. By no means is this video about me, but this part is very important. I have clear desires and clear dreams of becoming the best version of myself that I can possibly be, with goals such as financial freedom, becoming a physically strong person, and in building relationships with people, including you. And that's the first key thing you must do if you wish to escape the boring cycle. You must set goals for yourself in life that seem so extreme that other people might think you're crazy. Because once you set goals for yourself, you automatically start to desire and chase those goals, which gives you a purpose in life. Because many of the people trapped in the boring cycle have zero purpose. So your goal is to find purpose, whether that's becoming a better person, playing a sport, building up wealth, or starting a family, or going to college to get a degree and becoming a master at your job. You see, the things that keep people stuck are the people who scroll on their phone with nothing better to do than sit on the couch and watch TV. Those people have no purpose. So as your friend, I highly recommend that you go find purpose. Go set those extreme goals for yourself, because once you do that, you'll realize that your life is more than just sitting and scrolling all day, and you'll want to go out and challenge yourself. I'm sure you all have the friend that kind of is always on Instagram, right? And he's always sending you those reels about the most random things. Or maybe it's not Instagram, but he's always texting you, right? He's always texting you about random things. Hey, you want to hop on the video game? Hey, you want to, watch TV? He's always on this phone doing literally nothing. And he says that he has aspiring goals and dreams in his life. But deep down, you're kind of like, he is not going to ever do anything with his life. Even though he says he wants to become this and that and this great thing, he never does it, right? It's more talk. He doesn't actually walk the walk. He always talks the talk. You know what I'm saying? And I want you to do the opposite. I want you to have aspiring goals, but I don't want you to brag about them. Like if you want to become like an NBA player, right? Obviously you need to be extremely gifted. So maybe this is not a good example, but you need to keep that goal to yourself and just prove it to everybody. Don't go tell people, oh, I'm going to become an NBA player, right? Go prove that you can be an NBA player by beating every single player on the basketball court, right? Like, if you want to become the best salesperson, right? You don't need to tell everybody, hey, I'm going to become the next big sales guy, right? The next Andy Elliott, if you know who that is. And don't go tell people that I'm going to become that guy. Just prove it. Become a good sales guy, and people will know, hey, this guy's really good at sales. And you don't even need to communicate that to people. You just will show it because of how good you are at the thing. So that kind of applies with anything in life, right? You want to start building wealth. Dude, don't go tell people, hey, I'm going to be really wealthy one day, or I'm going to start building wealth. Just do it. And then your lifestyle will show how you are actually. And it's cool to tell people about your dreams. That's totally fine, maybe a close friend. But the problem is the second you do that, now your expectations, the bar has been raised. And if you don't hit those goals, it can be really mentally challenging. I used to tell my friends, oh, I'm going to go play college basketball. Because if you couldn't already tell, I'm a huge basketball guy. And I told my friends, I'm going to go play college basketball and I'm going to become the best basketball player in the state. I told people that was my goal. And for reference, I am 6'1" to 6'2", so I'm relatively tall, but I'm not super tall for basketball, right? And so I would be playing a point guard position. I could not dribble the ball at all when I was telling people I was going to become a college basketball player. And with my height, that's the only position I'd be able to play is a ball handler position. I'm definitely not a big man or a center. And so the problem became is when I told people that I was going to go play college, not only was I laughed at, but I was told that that's not possible for me because I basically suck. And that kind of mentally hurt me. For about 2.5 to 3 years, I was wrecked because people told me I couldn't do it. Even though I kind of believed in myself, the more that people told me, hey, you can't do it, I really doubted myself. And so I don't want that to happen to you, because if you start doubting yourself, then you might not become the version of yourself that you want to be, right? Like people used to say to me, Noah, like I would tell people I was strong, right? And I'm relatively strong today, but I would tell people like, oh, I'm really strong, I could beat you in a fight. So my friends were like, let's do it then, let's fight, let's go for it, like let's wrestle type of thing. And we would wrestle, and I would get absolutely killed because I never lifted a weight in my life, or I thought I was lifting weights, but it wasn't heavy weights. And I was like telling people that like, oh, I could probably bench like 200. Dude, I could barely like bench 125. And so it was one of those things where my ego, it's also an ego thing for me. And it's overall just an ego thing. So you need to keep your goals to yourself. Maybe write them down in a piece of paper. That would be really beneficial. Write them down in a piece of paper so you know what your goals are and you have a clear vision of where you want to go. Because when you have a clear vision of where you want to go, that'll create purpose in your life. That way you will never be stuck in the boring cycle. Another example is a while ago I wanted to become a YouTuber, right? And so I, told everybody I was going to be a YouTuber. And ironically, I'm filming videos now, but here's the cool thing is nobody knows about this channel except for me. Like I haven't told my family. No friends know about this channel. Literally nobody but me and you know about this channel, which is really cool. But a while ago, I built a YouTube channel, right? And it was a actual IRL content. And I told everybody about it. I was like, guys, I'm going to be the next Mr. Beast. I'm going to be the next Dude Perfect type of thing, because those are the people I was into back in the day. And I was telling them I was going to be this next big guy, the next YouTuber. So I was like, you guys got to subscribe. Please subscribe. That's what I was telling my friends. And they all kind of like laughed at me at first. And then it actually took off a little bit, and then they were like, oh, maybe he can do this. But then I never did anything with it. And then the stuff I was doing was kind of stupid and silly. And so people just like kind of laughed it off and made fun of me for it. And to this day, I'm allowed to laugh at it now because I really don't care. And I think it's funny childhood memories because that was about 4 years ago. Man, like telling people your dreams, especially if they're crazy ones, is never a good idea. So you just need to walk the walk. And then when you walk the walk, people will see what you're doing. And sure, they might still laugh at you, but they're going to be like, man, that guy's dedicated, right? That guy's humble. He doesn't have an ego. Because if I film videos and I don't tell anybody, I have nothing to lose and I have nothing to prove to anybody except myself, right? If I told people, hey, I'm filming YouTube videos, and they saw that these videos are getting like 1 to 5 views, people would like laugh because they're like, that's terrible. And like they probably couldn't do any better. They would just laugh because they know the standard on YouTube is people get thousands of millions of views and I'm only getting like 5 views. So when you don't tell people, the standard is you are the standard. And so over my past 2 years of experience of being out of the boring cycle, that's what I've learned is you need to keep your big dreams and your big goals to yourself. It's cool to talk to people about other things, but keep your really big goals and really big dreams to yourself. And write them down on a piece of paper because that will help you keep your goals clear. So I want you to write your big dreams on a piece of paper, like 3 or 5 big goals that you have in your life. Maybe that's money, maybe that's status, maybe that's a YouTube channel, maybe you want to grow a YouTube channel. Write those things down on a piece of paper and then tuck them away. But always keep them in the back of your mind to where you can look at them and be like, this is what I'm going for in life. This is what I'm working for. Right? Maybe you're wanting to do 100 push-ups in a row. Write that down so you know that that's your goal. And once you hit 100 push-ups, extend the goal. Make it higher so you always raising the bar so you keep becoming a better person. That is the goal. That's the end result. That's what you want. It's about the journey and the process to getting to where you want to go. And the people who are outside of the boring cycle have a vision. Thank you.